The first thing people noticed was her shoes. Or rather, the way she tried to hide them. The girl stood near the glass doors of the hotel, toes curled inward, one foot slightly behind the other, as if that could make the holes disappear. The right shoe had a tear along the side, wide enough to show her sock, thin, gray, and worn almost transparent. The left one was worse. The sole flapped with every small movement, held together by what looked like old tape and hope. Her name was Lily Carter, and she was 11 years old. Inside the hotel, chandeliers glowed like captured sunlight. Men in tailored suits and women in polished heels walked past her, their conversations floating in soft laughter and confident voices. Outside, the city hummed. Cars, buses, life moving fast, never slowing long enough to notice a girl with broken shoes. Lily clutched the straps of her faded backpack, fingers tight, knuckles pale. Inside that bag were her schoolbooks, neatly wrapped to protect them from rain, and a folded piece of paper with her name written carefully at the top. She had practiced her words all morning, whispering them again and again, afraid they would fall apart when she finally spoke. Today was the day she decided not to turn back. Through the glass doors, she saw him. Ethan Blackwell. Everyone knew his face. Billionaire tech founder, investor, philanthropist. At least, that's what the articles said. He was tall, calm, silver at the temples despite not being old, the kind of man who looked like he belonged wherever he stood. Cameras followed him often, but today there were none. Just a quiet entrance, a small group of assistants, and a security guard holding the door open. Lily's heart began to race. She had seen him only once before, on a screen in her school's library during a career day video. He spoke about innovation and opportunity, about building the future. She remembered thinking that he looked kind, but then quickly telling herself that rich people on screens always looked kind. As he stepped closer to the doors, Lily felt the weight of every doubt she had carried for weeks. He won't stop. He won't listen. People like him don't talk to people like me. Her shoes scraped the pavement as she shifted her feet. Then, before she could talk herself out of it, she stepped forward. "Excuse me, sir." The words came out smaller than she had practiced. Ethan Blackwell paused. Not everyone paused for a child outside a luxury hotel. Many walked past, eyes fixed ahead, pretending not to hear. But he turned, slowly, fully. "Yes," he said. His voice wasn't sharp. It wasn't rushed. That alone startled her. Lily swallowed hard. Her throat felt tight, like it did before exams. I'm sorry to bother you," she said, her eyes dropping to the ground. I was told you might be here today." One of the assistants shifted uncomfortably. The security guard took a step forward, cautious. Ethan raised a hand. Not aggressively, just enough to signal wait. He looked at Lily more closely now. Not just her face, but her posture, the careful way she stood, the shoes she tried so hard to hide. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lily," she replied. "Lily Carter." There was a small pause. "What do you need, Lily?" he said. The question landed heavily. This was it, the moment she had feared and hoped for at the same time. She lifted her head. "I need school shoes," she said quietly. Then, faster, as if afraid he might interrupt. "Just black ones. The kind you're supposed to wear. Mine are. They're not allowed anymore." The assistant blinked. The security guard frowned. Ethan didn't speak right away. Lily hurried on, her voice trembling now. "I go to Lincoln Public School. I've never missed a day, not once. But yesterday my teacher said if I come again with these shoes, I might not be allowed into class. And I really like school. I'm good at math. Her voice cracked. "I just need shoes," she finished. For a moment, the city noise seemed to fade. People passing by slowed, sensing something unusual. A woman nearby stopped completely. A man lowered his phone. Ethan glanced down at Lily's feet. "How much are the shoes?" he asked. $38, Lily said quickly. "I checked." That answer surprised him. He could tell. "I don't want expensive ones," she added. "Just the regular ones." Another pause. "And why me?" Ethan asked gently. "Why did you choose to ask me?" Lily hesitated. Then she reached into her backpack and pulled out the folded paper. Her hands shook as she opened it and held it out to him. It was a list. At the top, written carefully, "Payment plan." Below it, in uneven handwriting, $2, babysitting, $1.50, helping Mrs. Donnelly carry groceries, $3, cleaning neighbors' yards. At the bottom, circled twice. Total, $38. I will pay you back. I know you're rich, Lily said softly. And I know people probably ask you for things all the time. But I don't want it for free. I don't have the money right now. She took a deep breath. But I promise I'll pay you back. Every dollar. A murmur rippled through the small crowd that had formed. Ethan stared at the paper. He had signed million-dollar contracts without blinking. He had funded companies on instincts and numbers. But this list, these small amounts written with such seriousness, hit him somewhere he hadn't expected. You don't have to pay me back, he said. Lily shook her head immediately. Yes, I do. Why? He asked. Because it matters, she said. If someone helps you, you don't forget it. My mom says that. Something flickered in Ethan's expression. Where is your mom now? He asked. Lily's eyes lowered. She works double shifts at the hospital cafeteria. She doesn't know I'm here. I didn't want her to feel bad. The assistant looked down, suddenly very interested in the floor. Ethan folded the paper carefully and handed it back to Lily. Come with me, he said. The security guard stiffened. Sir, it's fine, Ethan replied calmly. She's with me. Lily's eyes widened. Inside. Yes, he said. Inside. Gasps and whispers followed them as the doors opened. Lily had never stepped foot in a place like this before. The floor gleamed. Everything smelled clean and expensive and unreal. She walked carefully, afraid her shoes would leave marks. Ethan led her not to the lobby desk, but toward a small seating area near the windows. Sit, he said, pulling out a chair for her. She obeyed, perching on the edge. He turned to his assistant. Cancel my next meeting. The assistant hesitated. Sir, I know, Ethan said. Cancel it. The assistant nodded and walked away. Ethan looked back at Lily. Tell me about school, he said. So she did. She told him about her favorite teacher, about how she loved fractions because they felt like puzzles, about how she wanted to be an engineer someday, or maybe a teacher, I'm not sure yet. She talked about her best friend Maya, who shared her lunch when Lily's was small, and about the library where she liked to sit because it was quiet and warm. Ethan listened. Not once did he check his phone. After a while, he stood. Let's get you those shoes, he said. They didn't go to a discount store. They went to a proper shoe shop 2 blocks away. Lily protested at first. It's too nice, she whispered. They'll cost more. That's okay, Ethan said. But, you can still pay me back $38, he said with a small smile. The rest is on me. Inside the shop, the clerk froze when she recognized him. Ethan waved it off. She needs school shoes. The clerk knelt in front of Lily, measuring her feet carefully. Do you like these? The clerk asked, holding up a simple black pair. Lily nodded, eyes shining. They're perfect. When she put them on, she stood up slowly, carefully. Then she took a step. The sole didn't flap. The shoe didn't pinch. She took another step, then another. A laugh burst out of her before she could stop it. I can run in these, she said, amazed. Ethan smiled. At the counter, as Ethan paid, Lily reached into her backpack again and pulled out a small envelope. It was thin. This is my first payment, she said, placing it on the counter. $3. I got it this morning. Ethan looked at the envelope. Then at her. You're serious, he said. Yes, sir, she replied. He took the envelope. Outside the shop, people were waiting. Phones were raised now. Someone had recognized him. Someone else had recorded part of it. Thank you, Lily said, holding her backpack close. I won't forget this. I'll come back every month. I wrote it down. I know you will, Ethan said. She hesitated, then did something unexpected. She held out her hand. He took it. Her grip was small, but firm. As Lily walked away, her steps lighter, her back straighter, something unusual happened. Ethan Blackwell stayed where he was. He watched her until she disappeared into the crowd. The city noise returned. Assistants approached. Questions waited. But for a moment longer, he stood still, holding a small envelope with $3 inside, feeling its weight far more than any check he had ever signed. And somewhere down the street, An 11-year-old girl walked toward home, wearing new shoes, carrying a promise, and believing, perhaps for the first time, that the world might notice her after all.